That's good. That's hard. Did you know they made hard Mountain Dew, zero sugar? It peps me up and it gets me drunk. Wait, tastes just like Mountain Dew. Yeah, that's a 10. That's a little bonus review. Didn't even mean to do that. What up, fam? It's your boy, Son of Boy 2024, streaming to you live. It is the Valentine's Day special stream. Here to talk about love, relationships, bad romance movies, etc. I love how you see how it's been raining on and off, perfect Valentine's weather, and the sky, it's only like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but like, yeah, the sky is already freaking almost dark. I'm gonna have to do this fast, he said as he proceeded to take like 6 hours to stream. I've got some backups. I think I'll just hit the hard Mountain Dew for now, but yeah, we'll talk about a bunch of random stuff and see where we go from there. But yeah, Valentine's Day, it's my favorite holiday. Not. But yeah, grab your favorite overpriced Valentine's Day card. Ooh, I actually like the design of this one. And it comes with like a neat little emoji, sparkly door hanger or something. I also picked out this one because it says happy, it didn't say happy Valentine's Day, it says happy love day, which I find interesting. So if it was, a perfect world, everyone listened to me, yeah, it should be love day, not Valentine's Day. Companies and society and everything, we all stress so much, like, romantic love, like husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, that type of thing. Like, oh, buy your girlfriend flowers, buy your girlfriend, this heart-shaped card for Valentine's Day. When really it should be about all love. It could be about anything. It could be about how much you love your parents, how much you love your dog, how much you love your siblings, grandparents, do something nice for them on that day, how much you love your friends, all that stuff. It should be all love, not just romantic love. But here's the thing, companies, it's a commercial holiday just like anything else, but like companies know, like, oh, well, we're gonna push that, you're not buying flowers and chocolates for your brother, right, or for your parents. You're buying flowers and chocolates for and cards, gimmicky kitschy cards for your significant other. So we're gonna stress that side of Valentine's Day. Also, this thing was like a fucking $11. Get the fuck out of here. Hokta. Okay, I hokta that card. Oh shit, I like that one. I don't know if I can even find that now. That's in like a snowdrift somewhere. Anyway, take another. This is actually pretty good. Tastes just like Mountain Dew too. Shit, why not? I'll do another. I did that giant pick 6 thing. I'll do a quick beer review. Is this what I do now? Now that I fell off. Now that I officially fell off. This one seems pretty good. The Sour Me, oh yeah, it's clearly the whatchamacallit, not Hawaiian Punch, the Kool-Aid Man's, but alcoholic version. Oh yeah. Oh, that wasn't even planned. That was off the cuff. What else we got in this bag of tricks? The Smirnoff Natty Ice, Smashed Red, White, and Berry. Okay, wrong holiday. This would have been good for a 4th of July stream, but they didn't have any Valentine's Day themed streams. Caramel Cookie Bar, limited release. That actually looks pretty good. What do we got? Oh, this one stuck out to me. Arctic Sauce Sour Ale, blue raspberry, cherry, lime, milk sugar, and vanilla. I'm always worried about any alcoholic drink that includes milk somewhere. But yeah, the cover definitely, or the can really stuck out to me. I always like honey. I like sweet things. Honey Pilsner. Yeah, there we go. Brewed with honey. I like the little bees. There you go. And then, what's the last one? Oh, here we go. Blueberry Belch. I just like the design of the can. Yeah, I like blueberry flavor. Sure, why not? Not drinking all these now. That's for later. That's for later, but I might try and down this. This is a pretty big can, actually. I'm going to try and down this by the end of the stream. Actually, that's pretty good. Honestly, just tastes like Mountain Dew. Because honestly, I don't like the taste of just beer. So the Mountain Dew beer is kind of like my dream come true. I'm not gonna lie. What else we got? Oh, be sure to give your loved ones your overpriced Valentine's Day chocolates. I love Ghirardelli, by the way. This review is all over the place, but I'm trying to like have it be like a Valentine's theme Kind of, sort of. Do you see this shit? Do you see this shit? Do you see this shit? This is limited edition creme brulee white chocolate. Oh, do you see this shit? Look at that. Do you want me to try that on camera? Maybe. Maybe. Hold on a second. I love the design of it. Look at that. The double hearts. I love the design of that. Give this to your special someone on Valentine's Day. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not just white chocolate. There's definitely some caramelization there. Like you taste the creme brulee, you really do. That might be the best Valentine's Day chocolate I've ever had. That's a 10 out of 10. I swear I'm not just reviewing random beer and chocolate. I am getting to the movie review eventually. Was this about a movie review? So, Valentine's Day in 2026 is cooked. We are so cooked, okay? It's a bullshit holiday. We all know it to be true. And honestly, I'm gonna kind of reveal something here. I mean, if you've been paying attention, this really shouldn't be a reveal. But before I go further, I should clarify something because I'm about to make some points about this holiday. I'm single. I know everyone just like stood up. All right, sit down. Everyone sit down. I know. Listen, there's a problem here where like when I'm talking to someone IRL. I'll kind of make, like, when I tell, like, a bold-faced lie, like, I'll kind of make, like, a goofy face, or I'll, like, wink at the camera, I'll wink at you. You know, I'm telling a tall tale, you know what I mean? But because I can't show myself on camera, I see the problem. You guys are taking what I say at face value, and that is a problem. So, for example, I feel like when I tell a tall tale that's crazy enough, like, you can kind of assume, like, oh, he's just bullshitting, like, that's you know, if I said, like, oh, yeah, I met up with Sydney Sweeney last night, and I banged her, and everyone's like, what, really, you know Sydney Sweeney? I'm like, no, come on, man, like, that's a joke, it's a joke. But there's been a running gag for a while now where I've talked about my wife, Lizzie, Elizabeth Olsen, you know, the Hollywood actress. Is there anyone that actually believed that she was my wife? Like, I'm single, guys, I'm single. There is no Liz. I mean, there is a Lizzie. She is real. She's probably married to somebody else. Somebody who's probably not a broke YouTuber talking about Valentine's Day on a bench right now. You know, probably having dinner or you know, lunch or late lunch or an early dinner with her boyfriend / husband or whatever. I don't know what her marital status is on IRL actually. I hope it's me one day. But yeah, no, there is no Lizzie Elizabeth. I'm single. I'm sorry if that wasn't clear to you guys. I guess I always played it straight, but that was, you know, doing a bit. I'm trying to be funny. I'm dropping the bit for this stream. I'll probably resume it after this stream to be funny again. But I did want to make a point about singles on Valentine's Day. Listen, I printed out a few things. I do want to get to the movie review. Sorry, I'm already slurring my speech a little bit. Hold on, this should help. This should help. Who's that Game of Thrones character? I drink and I know things. That's your boy Tyrion Lannister. Sometimes I drink and I know things. Yeah, I'm gonna drink and I'm gonna know things. I printed this out. There's like a neat little top 10 list. I mean, you can find a bunch of these, but I wanted to talk to the single guys that are out there, or single people. You know, I'm sure there's some girls out there that are single on Valentine's Day. You know, it happens. People try and make you feel bad about it. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. This is a bullshit holiday. I've said that from the beginning. It's really a contradiction where it's like, how do I put this? You don't need a, you know, I've talked to plenty of couples who share the same sentiment where it's like, you know, I love my wife or whoever regardless of a holiday. You know, I don't need a holiday to tell me to make her a nice dinner or to buy her flowers or chocolates or make her feel special. I mean, the card companies do. They need that holiday to stay in business, but you don't need that holiday. I mean, if you're like a thoughtful boyfriend and you want to do something thoughtful on Valentine's Day, you shouldn't need a holiday. You know what I'm trying to say? We keep falling into that trap where it's like, I'm not doing something thoughtful for the sake of being thoughtful. I'm doing it out of obligation because it's Valentine's Day, and if I don't do something thoughtful, I'll get in trouble. You know what I mean? It's like a fear type of thing. That's not the right motivation to take her out to that nice restaurant or whatever. And restaurants totally take advantage of all that shit. They're first of all, they're booked, and even if you can get a reservation, they're going to charge you double prices for, you know, reservation, for food, for parking, etc. because they know they can. Same thing with the flower and chocolate companies. Just wait till the next day. Wait till the day after, and the flowers and chocolates are 50% off, guaranteed. Same thing with that's what I do with my Halloween candy. Wait like a day. You know, wait one day, and then all the candy's 50% off. Anyway, society would like you to believe otherwise. They'd like you to believe that everyone should be in a relationship. Everyone should, you know, have a boyfriend, girlfriend, that type of thing. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. You know, what's going on? You know, you're lonely. What's wrong with you? You know, why don't you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever? And I think that's BS. And I think we put too much stock into that, and we you know, continue that a little too much on our end. So real quick, I saw this list. I want to kind of give my thoughts and you know, read this to you. But yeah, 10. Believe it or not, people would disagree, but there are advantages to being single, to not being in a relationship, and I'm going to go through them. These are just 10. So 10 reasons being single can be an excellent option. Number 1, I have more time and I can use it the way I want. A lot of these reasons are going to kind of sound similar, but that's fine. That's what it boils down to. Is like, yeah, you have more time for yourself. You know, doing things, you know, and I'm sure there are people whose significant others share similar interests, that type of thing, but like sometimes you don't. And like, for example, well, let's just say I was in a relationship, but like I want to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like a 60-70 hour RPG, right? And I want to chisel away at that. I want to play that for like whatever 7 hours tonight. Well, my significant other might not be so happy about that. She might be like, hey, you know, why don't you spend 7 hours with me? Or you know, that's not a multiplayer game. I can't really play that with you. I don't want to sit there and watch you play that for 7 hours. So maybe you don't get to play that tonight. Okay, but it's a really long RPG if I want to beat it, and I do want to beat that game someday and review it on the channel. Although I'm not so great with RPGs. I dislike the time commitment. I'm always bad at the RPG mechanics, but Pyrrha's a babe, so I do kind of want to play that one at least. I already have the cartridge at home, waiting to be played. Actually, maybe I'll crack it open. Hey, I can if I want to. I have all the time to myself. I don't have to worry about anyone else encroaching upon my time. Ha ha ha! You know, I can just play it tonight if I want to. Number 2, I can focus self-improvement. So yeah, I mean, very similar, but like I can focus on the things that make me happy. I can focus on improving myself. If I wanted to take up guitar lessons or something, I don't need to run that by anybody. I don't need to, like, you know, oh, I have guitar practice now every day at 5. Oh, that doesn't work because my wife has to go to cooking class at 5, or, you know, no, like, it's fine. It's fine. You can just do it. You can just do it. You don't have to worry about, you know, or if she thinks that's stupid, like, oh, we're not spending our money on guitar lessons. You don't need that shit. Yeah, you don't have to have that fight. Just do it. You are your own master. You're the lord of your domain. Just do it. You want to learn guitar? Fucking do it. I'm in charge of me, and that's my personal fave. Yeah, I'm in charge of me. That's my personal favorite reason. Again, you know, when you're single, you don't have anyone to answer to. You know, like if you want to stay out till 2 a.m. at the bar with the boys, you're not going to have the wife sitting up waiting for you in the kitchen. Where the hell have you been? Have you been, you know, oh, I smell perfume on you, you know, like that type of thing. Like, you don't have to check in with anyone. That's really the number one thing that I constantly think about is like, and right now I'm pretty, what's the term? Sedentary or whatever. Like, I'm pretty happy with like where I am, like where I'm working, where I live, that type of thing. But like, let's just pretend, let's just say, hey, I got a job offer in Las Vegas, and I've always wanted to move to Las Vegas so I can gamble all the time, right? And so, like, I'm being hypothetical. I know people keep taking me at my words at face value. I'm making a joke. I'm not being serious, but like, yeah, I just got a job offer to work as like an Elvis impersonator in Vegas, and it's been my dream since I was a small child. I'm gonna take that job offer, and I can leave tonight. I can fucking pack a bag, and I can leave tonight. And no one can stop me, right? Because who do I answer to? Me. That's it. So, like, if I wanted to do that, I could. You know, I have so many more options when I'm single. But if you have a wife, and especially if you have kids, a close friend, I won't dox him, but I'm just going to say a close friend, he recently got this, like, job offer of a lifetime. Basically, he's moving to Japan, the land of the rising sun. That's actually been a long time dream of mine, no cap. He's moving to Japan, and he's gonna live it up there. He's gonna meet, some beautiful Japanese princess in her castle, and live the best life. And he can just do that because he can do whatever he wants. He's single, But like, if you were married, and if you had, God forbid, you had kids, now you gotta worry about, I gotta enroll them in school. They don't speak Japanese. My wife doesn't speak Japanese. My wife doesn't want to move to Japan. I have to convince her. My wife's work is here. She doesn't want to leave her job. She can't find a new job in Japan. There's all this shit. There's all this shit you have to deal with if you have a wife or whatever, or a family. If you're in a relationship, you can't just move to Japan. But this guy can. You know what I mean? Like, he's a boss. He's a Chad. He can do whatever he wants. And that's how it should always be. But like, and I'm not even trying to make like wives or the kids seem like the bad guys here. It's like, that's only natural. It's like, we all have our lives, and our lives are all intertwined with each other. Like, it only makes sense that they would need you to check in with them, and that might not work for them. Like, they might not be able to change schools at this time, or the wife might not be able to find a new job in Japan. But like, that's how it is, and it sucks because sometimes you miss out on these opportunities because you're not single. Number 4, I'm not getting hurt. Hedgehog's dilemma. Sorry, I can't talk. Maybe that Mountain Dew is stronger than I thought. I'm not getting hurt. Hedgehog's dilemma, similar to getting a dog. So yeah, you're not getting hurt. So you could say this is kind of a cowardly thing, but like, this is very valid. Where there's that fear. Is like, yeah, it's great to enter a relationship. It's great to be in a relationship sometimes. It's not great to end a relationship, and a lot of relationships end, even marriages. A lot of marriages end in divorce. It's very painful. It's very time-consuming. It's very energy-consuming. And maybe you just don't want to go through all of that, If you just got through a really bad breakup or something, and you're like, do I really want another girlfriend? Do I really want to, like, go through that again? Because it's probably not going to last forever. I'll probably have to go through this, heartache again. It's kind of like how, I had a beloved childhood dog, right? And I had him my whole life, loved him with every fiber of my being, and he got old, he died, and it was really, really rough. It was really hard for me to get over it because he was like my best friend. And then some people were saying like, oh, well, why don't you just get a new dog? And I'm like, I don't really want to go through that again, like, yeah, it'd be nice I'm thinking like long term, buddy. You're thinking short term, like, oh, you're unhappy. That's the problem. Is like, people are thinking short term. Oh, you're unhappy because you don't have a dog anymore. Get a new dog. Yeah, but then he's going to die too, and I'm going to have to go through the same loss all over again. So to this day, I just didn't get another dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to go through that again. So, people are saying, oh, like, you're lonely, you're single, like, well, just get a new girlfriend. That'll solve everything in the short term. But like, who's to say that this new girlfriend won't be worse than the old one? And who's to say that your next breakup with her won't be worse than the last breakup? So maybe you want to avoid that entirely and just not get another one. Right? I mean, I apologize. I'm kind of forcing the dog-girlfriend comparison, but I think it's a valid comparison in some ways. And I brought up this Evangelion term, the hedgehog's dilemma. Yeah, it's like, it's part of the human condition. The whole thing is like, the term comes from the fact that, like, two hedgehogs that are trying to hug each other, they're covered in needles. There's the chance that they stab each other with their needles, but they take that risk because they otherwise, no risk, no reward. Like, if you don't take that risk, you can't embrace each other ever. You can't never feel a hug from another hedgehog if you're not willing to risk getting hurt from those needles, the figurative needles. And people are the same way. It's like, if you're not willing to take that risk of getting hurt, then you can't enter a relationship. But some people don't want to take that risk, and that, I think that's actually valid. So it's like, yeah, I mean, the best way to avoid that risk is to not enter a relationship. It sounds like such a, like a no duh type of thing, but like, I say the same thing about like people that are so afraid of, like, I mean, that's why the only this is not the abstinence video, I swear, I promise that will come someday, but I'm not even ready for that. I don't have 7 beers are not enough for the abstinence video. That will I promise Susan that'll happen one day, but that is not today. That day is not today. I'm trying to keep an eye on the time. It's about 20 minutes in. I promise not to go over an hour, so I'm going to try and move along semi-quickly. For me, that's not saying much. But yeah. I forget what I was saying completely. Oh, yes, abstinence. yeah, I mean, the only 100% surefire way to not have a kid by accident is to not have sex, right? So it's like if you're so, I mean, I'm not even saying like, oh, everyone should be abstinent, but I'm saying if that's such a fear for you, like, oh, I really don't want to be like a dad early, or I don't want the condom to break, or I don't want to have a child by accident, and it's like, well, just don't have sex. That's it. That's all there is to it. You know, you can talk all day about the pull-out method or condoms, but it's like, or you know, if you just don't have sex with her, then there's a 0% chance that you're somebody's dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could take that attitude with dating. It's like, yeah, you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to have to dump a girl or get dumped. Yeah, just don't enter the ring. Don't date. You know, it's really that simple. Number 5, I'm steady. Daily stress, challenges that come with relationships. Yeah. I mean, if you're like at your equilibrium right now, right? So it's like you have enough stress and stuff from everything else, right? You have enough stress from maybe family drama, maybe work is stressing you out, maybe your schooling is stressing you out, maybe you go to work and go to school. You don't want the added stress of being in a relationship. You don't want to also have a girl on your phone saying like, oh, you haven't seen me this week, or, you know, you said you'd hang out with me on Saturday. And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry, but the boss is making me work overtime. You know, there's none of that. There's none of that like added, oh, I have to apologize to my girlfriend now. It's like, no, you can just work the overtime on Saturday, you know? So I kind of like that idea too. Similarly, number 6, I'm calm, no fighting tension. Yeah. So again, maintaining that like cool, that equilibrium. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, if you're a bachelor, if you live by yourself, who are you fighting with, really? I mean, maybe your family, maybe your landlord, maybe your boss or your teachers if you're still in school. But like, do you really want that extra person to fight with all the time? And it depends on the relationship, obviously. But I know some people, especially some married couples, that they're just always fighting. They're always arguing about the bills, or like who took out the trash, or who did the dishes, or why'd you come home so late last night, or where were you the other day? Why didn't you check in with me before? Blah 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 blah. It's like, wouldn't you just like to not have to deal with that? Wouldn't you just like to not have to deal with like constant fighting, or at least like constant fighting from at least one source your whole life? I mean, that could be nice. Number 7, yeah, this is my other fave. I can see whomever I want. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dope. I mean, I'm not really, you know, I'm single, but I'm not looking to mingle, if you catch my drift. But like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice knowing that like, if I'm out somewhere and like at a bar or at a party or whatever, and I just happen to hit it off with a girl, like, yeah, I could ask her out, or I could try and hook up with her. It's like, and what's to stop me? Like literally nothing. Again, I don't answer to anyone. I'm the master of my own domain. It's like, I don't know. Like, you know, if you're dating someone or if you're married, like that's over, bro. And you're locked in. I mean, you could try and, you know, roll the dice if you want to be like Tony Soprano or something, but you know, it's you know, you're really, then you're like watching your back every minute of every hour, like, oh god, did she see that text from Angela or whatever, you know? It's like, yeah, I mean, I just like the freedom. I mean, and like we live such long lives. It's like, I don't know, like I'm trying not to criticize anybody too much, but like I know people that are like locked in, that are married at like 30 or even 20, like early 20s, and I'm like, you have so much more of your life to live, and I find it hard to believe that like you don't think you'll ever meet anyone else like later on down the line that like maybe you click with better, like maybe you vibe with better. Like I believe that everyone has like a perfect match, but like you believe you met yours at 20? Like really? Like, you know, there's just so many more experiences you haven't had yet, so many places you haven't been yet, so many people you haven't met yet. Like I just said, my one friend flying to Japan soon, like, you know, maybe his future missus is over there, and so it's so good that he's not locked in with some, you know, American bitch who's gonna be calling him every weekend, like, oh, you better not be hooking up with Yuriko. I heard there's a pretty girl that works that plays in your band, or whatever. You know, it's like he can do whatever he wants, and like I love that idea. I love like not being locked in. I love not being tied down. Yeah, I plan to meet so many more people in my life, and I like the hope. I like the prospect that like any one of them could be the future Mrs. Slenderboy, and it's like, yeah, I just haven't found her yet, and you know, again, meeting that 100% match, it takes time. It can take a fucking lifetime. And those people that got married at 21 or whatever, maybe your girlfriend was like 90% equivalent, you know, compatible with you, but like, do you really don't want to maybe try and find that 100% compatible person? You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, I'm trying not to be. I mean, again, if you're happy, I'm happy for you. I'm just, I'm really skeptical. I'm skeptical of settling down a little too early in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think people's perfect matches are out there, and you just gotta be a little more patient. You gotta kind of you gotta wait. You gotta wait a little bit. You have so much more of your life to live. Don't settle for the first Tinder date you had because you're like 75% compatible, or eHarmony or Grindr or whatever. What I don't know what people. I don't do online dating. I have no idea what people use anymore. Back in my day, it was eHarmony or whatever, or OkCupid or whatever. I don't know anymore. Let's move on. So number 8, I can use my resources as I want to. I don't have to spend limited energy dealing with a partner's problems. Yeah. I mean, again, it's when you marry someone, you marry their family and you marry their problems, and that can be good or bad. I mean, it works both ways. It can be good where they help you, but a lot of the time it's like you're inheriting a lot of like again, I'm not going to dox anyone, but my one good buddy I've been talking to for a while now, he's had some troubles, and his family's pretty fine. He has very little drama, very little stress or issues from his family, but his wife's family is just a nightmare. And she's great, but again, it's like when you marry someone, you do kind of marry into their family, and so every once in a while you gotta deal with like Uncle so-and-so needs $100, or Auntie blah said this about us, and so we gotta go see her now, and blah blah blah. And it's like, do you really want to deal with that shit on top of whatever problems you already have? Like you only have X amount. You only have like limited energy or time to deal with your own problems, and it's like, again, I use the example of like, hey, I want to move to Vegas, and that takes a lot. That takes money. That takes time. That takes a lot of effort. And let's just say that at the exact same moment, my wife was like, okay, well, you want to move to Vegas, but I want to move to Florida, and it's like, how do we make that work? How do we and like, we can't devote equal time to both. We have to choose one, and whichever one we don't choose, that other person kind of gets the shaft, or at least at the moment. It's a catch-22. It really is. Number 9, I'm excused from many oh yeah, this is a good one too. I'm excused from many undesirable activities. No hanging out with the partner's annoying friends, no annoying partner family events, etc. You don't have to worry about family reunions, high school reunions, that type of shit. Again, I know I have a buddy who his girlfriend's great. He obviously enjoys spending time with her, but a lot of the time is like, oh, you're spending time with her, you gotta hang out with her friends. You know what I mean? You gotta meet her friends, you gotta hang out with her friends, especially her best friend. And her best friend's a nightmare. Her best friend is awful. He hates her. He hates her. He hates her best friend. He hates spending time with her, and but he has to. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gotta tell her to stop seeing her best friend. And I mean, if you're gonna hang out with her, she's a girlfriend, you're probably gonna hang out with her quite a bit. You're probably gonna see her best friend quite a bit too. So you gotta like it or lump it, buddy. You gotta get used to hanging out with I'm not gonna name any names, but like you gotta get used to hanging out with her. And if you don't like it, then you should probably get out of that situation, because again, like, it depends. Like, minor friend is one thing. You can maybe even convince her to cut out that minor friend, but like best friend, you're locked in. You're locked in for that girl for forever. But I mean, that's going to be your wife's bridesmaid. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you're locked in. But you don't have to deal with that shit if if you're single. You just gotta deal with. Why is my voice cracking? What am I, 15, hitting puberty? I guess the alcohol. I don't know. Last one from this list. I can manage my own eating, no forced dieting. Yeah, that really sucks. That really sucks. I got a little bit of experience with that. I won't go too far, but like, yeah, I might have dated a how do I put this? I guess I'd say personal trainer at this point, or like a Planet, not literally Planet Fitness, but like that type of employee. So a person that was very much into fitness, dieting, etc., watching what you eat, watching calories. And trust me, if she's on a diet, you're on a diet, buddy. You're not ordering the pizza, because then she has to look at it and know that she can't eat it. So you're eating celery sticks right with her, buddy. And trust me, she's judging you. She's judging your beer belly. She's gonna count the beers you've had tonight. Make sure you don't gain too much weight. She's gonna make you step on the scale. You don't want to deal with that shit. I mean, hey, going back to what was it? Number 2, self-improvement. If that's your goal, if you are a fitness person and that's your goal, you want to spend time to focus on your diet or your fitness routine, that's fine. I'm just talking about a situation where a partner forces you into that shit. You know what I mean? And again, that's going back to like having more time for yourself. You know, maybe it's the flip. Maybe your girlfriend is a couch potato and she doesn't want to go running with you. She doesn't want to go to the gym with you. So you're going to the gym all by yourself all the time. You don't have that doubles partner for tennis that you want. You know, and you want to devote that time to yourself, but she doesn't want to go to the gym with you. So now you can't go to the gym because you don't want to leave her by herself all the time because she'll start complaining about it. Anyway, that's the 10. Here's a bonus one that I'm surprised this isn't on the list, but dating costs too much money. That's like the number one for me because I'm a broke YouTuber. I'm a broke boy. I can't even afford Pokemon's cookies or whatever. She made fun of me for that. No, it sucks. It sucks being broke, but it's like, I'm surprised more people don't bring up this point, but like dating's expensive, man. Are you kidding me? Especially like going out on Valentine's Day. Forget it. Buying hearts, buying flowers, chocolates, getting a dinner reservation on Valentine's Day. Forget it. Even just in general, there's you know, it's really sad, but like, you know, full honesty here, we're like breaking out the truth bombs. But like, I've had to cancel dates. For the stupid, and I made up an excuse, but like I had to cancel dates for the stupidest reasons. Where it's like, oh shit, you know, I just paid off this bill. It cost more than I thought, or oh shit, I had to get that extra tank of gas. Yeah, I can't afford to buy her dinner. I can't. It sucks. It really sucks because you're like, really? Like that's not in the budget. I can't even like afford like, well, you know, like, or if you go to the movies, it's like I can afford my movie ticket, but I can't afford hers. She's probably gonna expect me to buy hers. Yeah, you know. I mean, it sucks, but like I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to feel like a penny pincher. But like I was on this one date and we were looking at the menus, and of course they had like this new like I forget what it was, but it was like a fancy buffalo chicken mac and cheese or something, and everything else was like kind of expensive already. Everything else was kind of like $20, but like the buffalo mac and cheese was like $35. And as soon as she got the menu, I saw her eyes like dart to that right corner of the menu. I'm like, oh fuck, you know, and I kind of gave her a look, and she kind of backed off. She was like, oh, you know, I can get something else, because we had like the same thought. And I'm like, oh no, I was like, no, I mean, if you want it, come on. And she's like, well, why don't you get it too? I'm like, oh no, I think I'll just get the water. I think I'll get some iced water with lemon. Like you can get the $35 mac and cheese. That's fine. We're not leaving a tip. In fact, we're gonna dine and dash. Okay, now I'm being funny. We didn't dine and dash. The rest of that story was true. Anyway, yeah. I mean, people. I honestly like. I'm surprised that. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm a little half in the bag. I just learned what that term means from that YouTube channel. But anyway. Pardon me, I'm burping a lot too. Sorry. I'm slurring, I'm burping. This stream is going to be unwatchable. I might scrap all the footage. I'm sorry. I'll try and find like what footage is usable for this stream. Maybe if I take another sip of the hard Mountain Dew, that'll improve things, right? Cheers. I'm losing my daylight, so I'm going to wrap this up soon. Yeah, no, people are selfish. People are selfish creatures in general by nature. And that's why it's surprising to me. Because we're so selfish, I'm surprised more people aren't single. I'm surprised that so many people want to end up in relationships with other people. No cap, dead ass. I mean it. Because like all the reasons I just listed, it's like we all kind of just want to do our own thing. I feel like. I mean, yeah, there's introverts versus extroverts, sure, but I do feel like at the end of the day, we're all kind of selfish, and we all just kind of want to work on our own shit. And it's like, especially like living with somebody, I don't really ever want to live with anyone, because it's like. You gotta take that shit home with you. Like, you know, now the fight's at home. I don't know. I guess there's something to be said about starting a family, sharing your life with someone. I get it, but at the same time, I do feel like people are naturally kind of solitary creatures. We all just kind of want to do our own thing. As long as nobody fucks with us, we don't want to fuck with anyone else. Like, just leave me alone. Let me play my Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for 70 hours. Like, let me do my own thing. God damn it, just leave me alone. It's surprising. I guess it is that like biological imperative. Like there's that side of it where like if you want to have children, sorry, that does take another human being to do so. Sorry, that's just how it is. So I know people who have basically entered into relationships because of that. It's like, yeah, I want to have kids, so it is what it is. But and then more than that though, we desire companionship. We want to be with someone. We want to share our lives with someone. We don't want to feel lonely, And I guess that's enough to trump all of those other selfish feelings we normally have. For some of us want to still stick with the single route, One minor pet peeve I have, this kind of annoys, maybe I'm wrong about this being a recent thing. I feel like this is a recent thing, but it annoys me when people talk about like, Jesus, how do I put this? How do I put this? So like, I feel like it's at least within the last 10 years this has become a thing. So like 10 years ago, right, you would like introduce someone like, oh hey, like I'm Slender Boy and here's my girlfriend or here's my boyfriend, right? But now it's like, it's so much more often I hear like, oh here's my partner, right? And like, it's not just like boyfriend, girlfriend. Like sometimes someone has a husband and is saying like, oh he's my partner, you know? And I'm just like, that's I mean, it's true, it's technically true, but it's just so weird to me. I don't know what that is. It's just, am I crazy? Like I feel like everyone's doing that now, and it's just weird. Like I'll tell you what it is. It's like, I was thinking about this earlier today. It's like, you know, if you have like a brother or a sister, and you're like, this is my sibling. you know what I mean? Like it's true, but it's like weird the way you phrased it. Like, you know, it's like super formal and weird. Like again, if I showed you like my dad. That's how I would say like, hey, here's my dad. Like, hello. I wouldn't say like, well, even this would be weird. For like, here is my father, Mr. Slender Boy. You know, that would be weird. But no, if I said, this is my parent, this is my mother. No, this is my parent. You know, Mrs. Slender Boy. You know, it's like, that's weird. That's weirdly formal. And so that's why it's weird to me when like you introduce your wife. You're like, this is my partner. Or this, you know, or your girlfriend. I guess people, I think it's more like boyfriend, girlfriend. People don't want to say that anymore. They're like, this is my partner, and I'm like, okay, that's a little weird, but okay. I mean, it's true. Well, actually, no, I'm confused. What kind of partner? Business partner, romantic partner, you know, partner in crime. You know, it could be any of the following. You know, now I'm confused. What kind of partner? You weren't specific enough. Fuck you. We're not friends anymore. No. It's just a minor pet peeve, but like, it really irks me when people do shit like that. I don't know if that's like some super duper PC thing where like, oh, you can't say someone's gender anymore. You know, boyfriend implies gender, husband implies gender. I'm like, yeah, so I don't know. So does mother and father. Can I not say that anymore? This is my parent. This is my sibling. This is my non-gendered sibling. Where was I going? Okay. So romance. Yes, romance. There exists, you know, there are a lot of schmaltzy bad romance movies out there. You got your 50 Shades of Grey, you got your Twilights, you got your, you know, Notebooks and Last Songs and, you know, whatnot. There's only really, in my view, there's only one good romance movie, okay? There's only one good romance movie. It's called Past Lives from A24. It's technically not even about a romantic relationship. It's debatable whether these two were ever in a relationship or not, whether they were just friends, whether they were more, something more. That's what the entire fucking movie's about, really. She kind of mindfucks him with that. I hate to admit it, but I was in a very, very, very similar situation at one point, so that's why this movie kind of resonates with me quite a lot. This movie's too good. This movie's too good for Valentine's Day. You don't deserve this movie on Valentine's Day. Maybe I'll review this at some other point, but yeah, this actually is a love story for all time, not the fucking Wuthering Heights quote where they're like, oh, the greatest love story ever told. Like, no. Maybe Past Lives, but yeah, you don't deserve that right now. Sorry. No, we're going to speak today about one of my favorite romance movies, the absolute dumpster fire that is The Host by Stephenie Meyer. So The Host, I mean, the book is actually pretty old, and I actually do like the cover of the book. The way that the camera is like, you know, framed out, it looks like an alien, like a gray head design. I like the cover of that book a lot. It's from Stephenie Meyer, of course, the author of the Twilight Saga. The movie came out in 2013. Bombed horribly compared to Twilight. And I think a lot of it has to do with Stephenie Meyer wrote Twilight for teen girls. It was a teen vampire romance. The Host is also like it's a sci-fi romance, and sci-fi kind of has it's harder for it to find an audience sometimes. And also she wrote it for an adult audience. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah. The Host. This was supposed to be the first book in a series, right? Like Stephenie Meyer said she was going to write like a bunch of these, like a trilogy or so. I mean, it's 2026 now. The last time anything related to this came out was in 2013 with the movie, and she still hasn't written anything. The last thing she did, I had to Google this. I didn't even know about this. She wrote like an adult action book, The Chemist. They're coming for her. She's ready for them. I don't know anything about this. Do people know about this book, The Chemist? Stephenie Meyer fell off after Twilight. Like, Somebody tell me in the chat if you read The Chemist. What is this book about? Does it have a terrible love triangle? Like, what do you know about The Chemist? I'll get to... and there's this quote. I have to talk about this quote. Okay. Sorry, I'm pulling back. I'm going to complain about Valentine's Day for another minute. I read this quote. I forget where it was. Maybe it was on Reddit or something. But let me do a deep dive. So... this is the type of shit you'll hear, like, you know, someone's complaining about being single on Valentine's Day, then someone will say the thing about, well, why can't you just be happy for other couples on Valentine's Day? And then this response really, it floored me. It made my jaw drop. Why should I be happy for other people when no one will be sad for me? Let's just kind of hit pause. I'm gonna let's pour one out. Let's pour one out for that comment. So. Yeah, that's good. No, let's just think about that, because I understand the intent where people say the first part where they're like, okay, well, you know, yeah, you're single and miserable, but like other people are happy, so why can't you just focus on the other couples that are happy on Valentine's Day and just be happy for them? Spend your day being happy for them, you know, enjoying their bliss, enjoying their love. That is such bullshit. That is so hypocritical. And the second comment really points it out, where it's like, yeah, I mean, well, no one will be sad for me. No one thinks about me. So why would I spend, you know, it works both ways, jackass. Like, so why would I spend the mental energy being happy for, oh, so-and-so is living it up with his wife right now. You know, I'm just going to concentrate on thinking about that. You know damn well that all those couples that are enjoying Valentine's Day, they're having a good time, they're not spending half a millisecond to even think about you or any of the other single miserable people on Valentine's Day. They're busy, and I don't blame them either. Like, that's not their job. That's not their prerogative. That's not on them to you know, use up their limited time. We were just talking about limited time, resources, limited time and energy. You know, worrying about other people on Valentine's Day, worrying about so and so, he's single and depressed. You know, they're busy spending the day with their wives, and as they should. But there's a double side to that. So if you're gonna be like that, then I don't owe you jack shit. I don't owe you a single moment in my thoughts on Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna spend a moment to like be happy or thankful that, you know, so-and-so is happily married. I'm like, no, like, I am single and miserable. That is my prerogative, because as I've said time and time again earlier in the stream, human beings are selfish and kind of in their own bubble most of the time, and as they should be. I mean, if you're not gonna look out for yourself, who is? You know, you gotta look out for numero uno, because no one else is going to. Sorry, that's just how it is. I'm just dropping the truth bombs. I don't know what it is about this hard Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew goes so hard in 2026. Yeah, I'm sorry. I read that comment. I actually had to type it down and, you know, write it out and everything, because I thought that comment went so hard. I forgot where I saw that, but like, that comment was amazing. The host. You want to know what's not amazing? I'm very curious why the host bomb. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's really bad. But so is Twilight. Twilight's so horrible. The Twilight Saga was like the Twilight Saga was a success. Oh, there it is. The Twilight Saga. Yeah, it's a saga, all right. The books are really fucking long, if that counts as being a saga. Why was that so successful? Because it was marketed to teen girls. This was not marketed to teen girls. This is a very complicated, kind of boring sci-fi story, and a lot, no offense, I'm sure there are some teen girls that do like sci-fi stories, like Orson Scott Card and, you know, H.G. Wells, all that stuff. But like, a lot of teen girls, they want their vampire romances, right? They don't want the host. And then you have the adults who would normally read sci-fi. They're not going to read the host because they see the name Stephenie Meyer. They see Twilight Saga. They're like, oh, I'm not touching that shit. That's not for me either. So it's a movie and a book that are literally for nobody. They're literally for nobody. And I love this. I love this movie. I kind of like the Twilight movies, ironically, because they are so bad they're funny. Like, especially watch them with riff tracks. I don't know. Is there a riff tracks for the host? I need to look this. I'm gonna look this up after the stream. But the host is so funny. The host is the funniest fucking. This is a train wreck. This is a dumpster fire. This is an absolute like this is like next to The Room. This is like, and this was like a major Hollywood movie too. This had money behind it, which is even funnier. You know, The Room is funny because Tommy Wiseau just didn't know what he was doing. He was a first-time filmmaker, and he had no like budget or actors or anything, or writing team. But like the host, there's no excuse. Like, there were a lot of people involved in this project who should have known better, who should have said no to certain decisions. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm losing daylight. and like the host deserves its own video. Maybe I'll review it in depth at a certain, but it's very similar to Twilight. So what happens? What's funny is it's very similar, and this show came out much later. This show just came out, in fact. But Vince Gilligan, behind Breaking Bad, his new show Pluribus, which I hear is amazing, but it's on Apple Plus, I think. I don't have Apple Plus. The premise of Pluribus is not very different from the host. The host crawled so that Pluribus could run. That's my hot take for the day. That's my hot take for the stream. The host walked so Pluribus could run. Stephenie Meyer crawled so Vince Gilligan could run. Earth has been basically conquered. This is true in both series. And there's just this one girl that's left, and she's special, okay? This is true of both series. But there's like this pacifist alien invading force, and they've already conquered us, and they've taken us over via like mind control or whatever, and because they've deemed that our planet is too violent. We can't be allowed to continue to fight our wars, to destroy ourselves, so they're going to forcibly intervene. But after they intervene and take control of all of our bodies, that's it. Like it's kind of a utopian society. Like everyone just lives in harmony. Nobody hurts anyone or kills anyone or commits crimes or any perversions at all. We just all sit around and sing Kumbaya. Again, this is true of both series. It's eerie how similar Pluribus and the host are. I'm sure that Vince Gilligan never watched the host or has heard of it, but like I'm sure if you like showed it to him, he'd have a similar reaction to like when he found out about weeds. He's like, "Oh my god, bitch, it's just like Breaking Bad, oh my god." I don't know what he sounds like. That's why I'm just talking like Jesse, but I imagine that's what Vince sounds like as well. If you showed him the host, he'd be like, "Oh my god, cancel season 2. We can't do Pluribus. Bitch, this bitch, she did it first, bitch." All right. That's my terrible impression out the window. So here's what's up. So yeah, basically there are these things. It's also similar to Animorphs, the host is, where like they're like these little slug aliens that invade through the ear, and they take over your body forever, and they replace your personality. And there are only a couple of humans that are left. And this main girl, not Bella Swan, Melanie Strider, she's special, okay? Because she got an alien in her head named Wanderer, but then they call her Wanda for short to be cute. So there's Wanda and then there's Melanie. So Wanda took over Melanie's body, but then she starts to hear a voice in her head, and it turns out that Melanie, it's the same as Bella. Like Bella was just special. Like, why don't vampire powers work on Bella? Because she's special. Same thing with Melanie. Every other woman on fucking planet Earth has been invaded successfully, but for some reason Melanie can fight back. But she can't. She doesn't like fully. She like fights back just enough to retain her sentience. She doesn't like reject Wanda or shove her out of her body or nothing. They talk it out, and they become gal pals, and they basically bond and decide to coexist. It's like a symbiotic relationship. It's just like Venom. It's just like Venom and Eddie Brock. But yeah, Wanda needs to find Melanie's family and also her boyfriend Jared, and they are like forming like the last human resistance. Blah blah blah. And so that happens, and then it becomes a forced horrible love triangle because, Jared was Melanie's boyfriend before she was taken over, and so they still have feelings for each other, obviously, but then Wanda has her own feelings, and she meets Ian, and Wanda likes Ian. So now the two have to choose between these two handsome men, and who gets to, and they only share one body, so who gets to be with who? I always said they should have like a calendar, just like work it out. Like, oh, Mondays and Tuesdays you get Jared, Thursdays and Fridays you get me. No, it's just, but I know what she's doing. I know what Stephenie Meyer is doing. I think what she's doing is actually not, I get it. I get what she's doing. I kind of approve of like the symbolism here. So. And it's how in real life a woman can be conflicted, right? So like, obviously it's pretty on the nose. Like Melanie is the physical, she's the body, and then Wanda is the ethereal spirit, the soul, the mind, or whatever you want to call it. And so sometimes you can be attracted to someone intellectually or whatever, but then sometimes there's just that guy that's just really hot, and so you're physically attracted to him, and you have to choose. You can't marry both, right? You can't marry both. You don't always get a happy ending. Well, in this movie you actually do, but that's a whole other thing. I get it. So there's like the physical attraction, and then there's like the more meaningful, whatever, spiritual attraction. I get it. and there's some very unintentionally funny moments again. So the invade, and this is true of Pluribus as well. The aliens in Pluribus aren't allowed to cause any harm, and they have to do any, like, they exist to serve you, the humans. So you could tell an alien, like, oh, go run into traffic. He'll be like, oh, okay, if that'll make you happy, sure. They can't harm you in any way. And it's similar with these guys. Like, there's this stupid action scene where Melanie has to fight off all these guys, and they're like, please stop resisting. And she's like, back up, I'll fucking shank you. And they're like, oh, okay, we can't really do anything. We can just tell you to stop. We can't really grab you or anything. It's like a fucking school teacher that's not allowed to touch the kids. Like, even if they're roughhousing, you can yell at them. You can say, stop fighting, stop fighting. You can't grab them. You can't touch them in any way. And that's kind of how all these aliens are. They're the least threatening alien invaders of all time. Like, all she can do, just has to, like, push them away, and they're like, oh, we're defeated. That was really fucking funny. There's another really funny part where she has to go to a store because in the future, this is how it is in the book. I forgot to mention I read the book. Yeah, I'm a host fan. I'm a host OG fan. Are you kidding me? I was there day one, bitch. No, I read the host just to impress a girl that I liked. You can see how that turned out. But she liked the host. I read the host. The host is like 1,000 pages long. The book, or the movie, really trims out a lot of the fat, which is fine with me. There's a lot of stuff that didn't need to be in there. Like, the movie's like, I think, a clean 2 hours. Like, that's fine. The least amount of suffering is better. We didn't need all these repetitive descriptions about people kissing in the rain or walking around the desert and looking at the scenery, or oh god. I'll tell you one thing that is better in the book. So in the book, it's okay to have, like, constant monologues, constant dialogues, constant arguments in her own head of Melanie fighting with Wanda. In the movie, they have no choice. Because Wanda is a disembodied character, you constantly have these, like, annoying voiceovers, almost similar to Legend of Zelda, with Navi going, hey, Link, hey, listen. So, like, Melanie will be doing her thing, but Wanda will be doing her thing, and then every once in a while, Melanie will be like, hey, stop, don't kiss him, that's my body, stop it. And, that's, like, honestly, if you can watch the movie on mute, or with subtitles, I'd recommend it, because the voiceover really killed the movie. That's, like, one huge reason why I think this movie bombed as bad as it did. The voiceover is really bad. They needed to figure out a solution. I don't know what they could have done. Maybe they could have done these, like, artsy cutaways where, like, Melanie is just sitting in a white room with Wanda and they're talking to each other, or something, and it symbolizes their mental argument. I don't know, but whatever other option there was, they should have taken it, because this was the worst option. This was so annoying. It ruined the movie. It really did. And the movie was already shit to begin with, but that voiceover really killed the movie. But yeah, this scene was really fucking funny. So when the and this is in the book. So when the Yerks or whatever take over the world, they it's like a fucking Italian, oh god, I can't even think right now. Egalitarian society, or like total utopian society, or like not just, it is, but not just utopian. It's like everyone's totally equal, but everyone's also totally bland and nothing. So when there are no brands anymore, because why would there be? So you go to store and you don't buy cornflakes, you buy, you don't go to Giant, you go to store, and she goes to this building, and there's just a big sign that says store, and then she buys, like, you don't buy cornflakes, you buy a nondescript box that says cereal, and it's just like, it reminded me of Invader Zim, which was also an alien invasion property, media thing, so it's a little connection there. But in Zim, it was always played as a gag where, like, he goes to school, and it just says school, like, in big letters on a sign. That really reminded me of Invader Zim. She goes to store. I was laughing my ass off during this scene, and I don't think I was supposed to be. But yeah, so this movie sucked. It was really, really bad. How do they resolve well, it's not a love triangle at this point, it's like a love rectangle or something. Okay, so, and this randomly happens. So Wanda discovers that the human resistance have been experimenting with taking over bodies, trying to forcibly remove the aliens from the bodies. And so she goes to, like, the doctor's, like, workstation or whatever, and they're like, no, don't go in there. And she sees, like, all of these mutilated corpses, all of these dead slugs. Like, it has never been successful. He always ends up killing both the host and the host. He ends up killing the alien and the host. He just wants to kill the alien. And she's horrified. And she's more horrified at the dead bodies of her own kind. But she starts freaking out. She's like, you're all monsters. Like my people were right. Like, humans are destructive, violent, murderous creatures. And I'm like, I mean, there's an argument to be made. There's an argument to be made. But so she just disappears. She stops talking in Melanie's head for a very long, especially in the book, it's a very long time where Wanda just drops off. And you wonder if she like killed herself or she just ceased to be or what happened. And then she just kind of comes back and then they have like a quick conversation and water under the bridge. I'm like, that was a really big turning point. I thought they'd do more with that. But no, everyone makes up and it's fine. So how do we resolve the love rectangle? How do we resolve the love rectangle? Everyone wants to know. I'm gonna need this. I'm gonna need this. Okay. Ready? I should have had more pictures in my visual aid. Oh, it's upside down. Actually, that's better. It's better that way. How do we resolve this? You want to know how? You want to fucking know how? So, well, first of all, my voice is so cracking. Okay. First of all, Wanda teaches the humans. She's like, oh, well, actually, there's always been this method of getting the aliens out. You just have to ask them nicely and massage the neck, and it's like this tantric thing where they'll just leave the host willingly, and then the host isn't dead or nothing. The host comes back and everything's fine because they captured the main villain lady who was trying to kill him the whole movie, and they have like a heart to heart with her, and they convince the alien to leave her body, and it's all good. So they do the same thing. Well, wait. Then why didn't Wanda just leave Melanie's body? If she knew that the whole fucking time, why didn't she just? Okay. I'm not even. It's too late. It's too late to ask questions about the host. Fuck it. It's too late. Okay. So yeah, Melanie or Wanda teaches the doctor the tantric method, and she leaves Melanie's body, and so now Melanie has her body back, and she can be with Jared, and then Wanda is a slug now. And this is where Stephanie tried to make her statement, where Ian says this whole speech, he gives this whole thing, and it's so cringe, it's so bad, but it's supposed to represent how, like, it doesn't really matter what you look like, it doesn't matter, you don't have to be hot or anything. It'll tell Melanie that, why couldn't she be with Ian then? Why'd she have to be with a man? Why couldn't she be with a woman if the physical doesn't matter at all? Anyway, but yeah, Ian makes a statement about, like, as long as your souls love each other, or blah, blah, I can see past the physical. I still love Wanda, whether she's in this body or the body of a slug. We will continue to be, husband and slug for on and on. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, but, like, honestly, at a certain point, the physical does matter. I'm sorry, like that's why I would choose to be with a woman over a man, because the physical does matter at the end of the day. Sorry. I think people might stress it a little too much. I think some people that get too hung up on, like, whatever her dress size or her cup size, or but it's like, yeah, I mean, I think the physical does still matter quite a bit. But yeah, Ian's willing to marry a slug. I don't know how they'd work out the sex angle of that. I really don't want to know, Stephanie. I'm sure you have a couple thoughts about that. But no, everything's fine, because it just so happens that Doc has a comatose woman in his care who will never wake up. He like is very definitive about. They're like, oh, is it okay to put the slug in? Like, maybe she'll wake up. And he's like, no. She's definitely in a coma for the rest of her life. Why have we been keeping her in stasis? Anyway, but yeah, for experiments. Anyway, so they put Wanda in the new body, and so now Ian gets his wife too. And it just so happens. Have you seen the movie Sucker Punch? The main girl, baby doll, the blonde girl in the pigtails. It's the same girl. It just so happens that this smoking hot blonde girl happened to be the body on hand. Yeah, I wonder. I fucking wonder why Doc kept that body around. Okay, I'm not going to ask too many questions, Doc. I'm not going to ask too many questions about that. We're going to have a talk about that later, Doc. Anyway. But yeah, isn't it crazy how we just had this whole monologue, this whole rant about how, this whole soapbox about how the physical doesn't matter and you can love anyone no matter what they look like. Oh, by the way, Ian, we got this blonde Swedish supermodel to be your new wife. Oh, great. And what if it had been the body of an old man? What if it had been the body of Abe Simpson from The Simpsons, Grandpa Simpson? Doc says to Ian, well, Ian, you can either marry a slug or we have this old man body we could put her into. Would you be okay with that? And then Ian's like, well, I did do the speech, didn't I? So I guess, and Doc, like, pulls back the curtain and it's baby doll. He's like, oh, I'm just fucking with you. It's a Swedish supermodel. I'm just fucking, everyone lives happily ever after. The end. This movie had the gall to do a sequel bait tease where they run into other resistance fighters, even though they said very clearly at the beginning that there's only one pocket of humans left on the planet. because the aliens were hunting them down. That was Melanie's original, or excuse me, that was Wanda's original mission. But yeah, they just find other ones. They just find other humans driving around, and then it turns out that they also have like a reformed alien person in a human body on their side as well. You can tell because when you shine the flashlight in her eyes glow silver. That's how you know someone's possessed or not. I actually kind of like the effect in both versions. Again, I like this cover a lot. I think the cover is actually cool of the book. The movie, not so much. It looks like Twilight. That's about it. I swore I wouldn't go too much over an hour. It's about an hour now. Fuck Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day fell off. Valentine's Day is cooked. It's not just cooked, it's deep fried. Might as well get your spouse KFC. We're so deep fried right now. The Host sucks. Please look it up. Please watch it. It's a hilarious dumpster fire. All right, see ya.